Good morning, how are you?
Good morning.
Let's try that again. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning.
Awesome, guys. Hey, my name is CJ. I am in charge of the wellness and athletic training for the Duke City Gladiators. We've, for the last few years, have also become some of the athletic trainers for some of you guys in the room as well, right?
So NACA is the Native American Community Academy. We've been a school for 14 years. We're a public charter school. And what we are is we are a public charter school that saw a need to have a different role in Indigenous education in the Albuquerque metro area. And so 14 years ago, our charter was founded, and we've aimed to create a new model for what Indigenous education can look like in Albuquerque through our focus on our core values, wellness, and looking at holistic wellness as opposed to just physical wellness, and reimagining American education system in a context through an Indigenous lens.
This morning, we put together this group, the Gladiators and Evolve, and we want to do a mind, body, spirit camp with you guys, all right? But before we do, I need all of you guys out here. All of you guys, every single one of you. And I want you guys to find a partner. Now listen, this is a thumb war to the death. A thumb war to the death. You got 30 seconds to pin their thumb as many times as you can. On your mark, get set, go, 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 go.
I need a thumb war now.
NACA is really excited to establish a relationship with the Duke City Gladiators. We're excited to have athletes be role models for our students. A lot of times Native American students don't see beyond their community sometimes, or they don't see that there's opportunities available beyond their local areas. And so when we have professionals coming in, giving them this opportunity to see that this is another way to grow as an individual, way to give back in a community, another way to, that somebody cares about who they are and where they're coming from.
We got a very special individual who is really, and went to the gym with CJ, the boys, dug deep, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he's lost around 30 pounds. Doing very well for himself, loving life. So one of our first community champions, the Duke City Gladiators, would like to recognize David Roy Newton.
We're definitely really excited to establish a partnership with an organization that has the same values as our community and has the same commitment and dedication to support our Indigenous students.
Volleyball, soccer, whatever it is.
Track.
Even if it's math, books, whatever it is to get your mind off of the bad, the people that create, the bad environment around you. Get yourself out of that situation by involving yourself in something that's going to prepare you for the world, to make you successful human beings, and which you all will be, all right?
I mean, I think this event can really, become quite impactful to the school in reference to us being able to create some community champions, creating, and teaching them how to being an advocacy for health, mental health as well as their body health in various areas.
Every day you're gonna have obstacles that you overcome. Mine was, I learned disability. I'm dyslexic, so I do things backwards. So my thing was, you gotta take a chance and go for it and keep on fighting for what you want. Just like Ani said, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody's the same. I learned different than other people. So what I had to do is believe in myself. And for me to believe in myself, I had to take it upon myself, ask for help. Don't be scared to ask for help. Because at first, I was so scared because I was worried about, what's he thinking? What are you thinking about me? It's not like that. So what are you gonna do in life? So that's the main thing is, you overcome everything.
We are super excited to be able to have a partnership and a relationship with the Duke City Gladiators family now. We have an immense need to create wellness opportunities for our students, and I think at this point we see an organization that has very similar beliefs and value system as NACA does in the Duke City Gladiators. And so we hope that today will just be the first stepping stone to continue to develop that ongoing relationship through wellness activities, through having your champions, the Duke City champions, come into the NACA community, work with our students, work with our athletes, be role models and advocates for us, and as well as to reciprocate that relationship. So having our students, our community be able to support the Duke City Gladiators and their community events, their games, and let them know that they will always have a community here in NACA. And likewise, I think NACA has now found an extended community in the Duke City Gladiator family.
Go out and be champions. Whatever champion means to you. They're champions, they won their league. But they're way beyond champions of football. They go out and get in this community and make this place better. They're proud of what they do. They should be. They're proud of this community. Champion's gonna mean something different to you than it might mean to you. And that's okay. Don't let anybody tell you what you're doing isn't right, it's the right thing. If you look in the mirror at night and that person looking back at you tells you you're doing the right thing, because you can BS me and him and her, and not that person looking at you in the mirror. Be a champion, whatever that means to you. Do the right thing. That means helping somebody on the side of the street, or opening the door for somebody, or whatever it is. You know what the right thing is. Sometimes you don't even understand it. It's in your heart and you know it's the right thing. Go out and be a champion and make this place better. It's amazing what you can do. Brick by brick by brick.
My dad, man, this is what he said to me. My girl, in your life, you're gonna have ups, good times, you're gonna have downs. All of us. You're gonna have some sad times where you cry. It's important to cry. And you're gonna have good times and you're gonna have sad times. That's every one of us, he said. And I am so glad I listened to my father, because I had a lot of bad times. And I am glad that I finally, after maybe 8 deaths of my family, I hadn't been crying, and I was at a point that I was gonna go to the wrong place. And I decided, my gosh, what am I gonna do? And some people said, oh, let's go get drugs or alcohol. And I'm like, that's gonna solve it? Thank goodness I remembered the chicken story. And I cried and I cried. And ever since then, man, I'm happy. Thank you.
There's a lot of emotional stuff that goes into food for a lot of people, and so obviously that just further perpetuated a cycle for me of continuing to eat to try to feel better about myself. And I don't know how much you guys know about food, but what's out there right now is a lot of food-like product and not necessarily food that you're putting into your body. Like what happened is I was getting out of bed one night to go to the bathroom, and my bathroom's only like 5 steps from my bed. And I got back in my bed and the house was quiet and it sounded like I just run a triathlon. You know what I mean? I was just like, and I couldn't even breathe. And I have 3 kids, and I want to make sure that I'm healthy for them and that I'm teaching them healthier habits than the habits that I was raised with. And so I made a choice, and it was the first time in my life I made a choice without having like a weight goal or a, you know, when I get to this goal. I just wanted to live a healthier life. I wanted to not be out of breath walking to the bathroom.
Hey, how you doing? Today we set up football challenges for the kids. We had ladder drills, cone drills, the tie drill, crunches, football throwing challenge. We had it all today. Duke City Gladiators.
Blood, sweat, and tears are running down our skin. We came to battle, came to fight, yeah, we came to win. Wings up, we're making our ascent to the clouds with the sound like a roaring lion. It feels like our time is now. Feels like we were born to be champions. We were born to be champions.
It's Sherman Carter with the Duke City Gladiators, just having a great time out here with the kids, teaching them about exercise and how bullying is very bad, all right? And it's a great time with the kids. Duke City Gladiators in town. We're here all day. Next season, baby, #1.
We were born to be champions.
Right now, our goal within the organization, of course, is to reach out to the community in any possible way that we can and create those community champions.
Well, first of all, it's a dream come true for me.
You know, I've always advocated for our Native American children because they're less privileged, you know. And to make it worse, when I came to NACA, we don't have facilities. And so last year I was a basketball coach for the varsity boys, and we had no gym, nothing. It was hard. I was connected with CJ, and that's where it all started. Kids working out, and we had been away for about a year maybe, and I went back to CJ, and I asked him if we could keep coming. He said yeah, and then what happened was I told CJ, I said, how can we give back to you? And I guess they had this whole thing going, him and Gina, and I didn't know anything about it, so we started meeting about it, and we collaborated, and we partnered up, and just this whole thing happened. It was like, it's so awesome. It's so exciting. I'm just really happy. I mean, these kids are happy. They never have stuff like this. You know, the support that they need, it's tough not having it.
It's not even serious till she puts her hair on. That's how good she did. When she puts her hair on, look like, oh.
Alright, hey. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do tug of war. Sherman, you're on this side.
It's not failure. Failure is when you fall and you don't meet your goal and you don't get back up again. And these guys can tell you, they know a lot about getting back up when you get hit hard. The harder you get hit, the quicker you need to stand back up, even if it hurts. Because it's just gonna hurt for a little bit.
And so I carve and I learn. I'm a wood carver, and that's what it is. Sometimes we learn, like she was talking about, we learn from our own mistakes. Sometimes we fail, we think it's a bad thing, but in the end it turns out to be a very good thing and a springboard to something more wonderful. And what I've learned to do in my life is just compete with myself, not compete with anybody. I compete with myself. If I run a 15-second 40-yard dash, maybe tomorrow I'll run a 14. I'm gonna get to that quarterback spot, see?
So how many of you know if I wasn't continuing to work hard after I won these belts, the next fighter is gonna come and beat me and take those titles from me. So it's not just about winning the belt, it's about keeping it. And the only way to do that is to work hard, to believe in yourself, and consistency. Consistency is the key and success.
So the message was very clear. We deliver community champions to Albuquerque, and this is the type of program that is needed to showcase like these kids and to get these kids to become community champions. So we're very excited to expand this not just through NACA, but throughout the entire New Mexico region.
It's like the beginning of a whole new community, the beginning of a whole new, how would I say it? It's just a beginning of something new and something good and something positive.
It's really, great to have role models in real time and being able to allow our students to have the opportunities to build relationships, to build networking opportunities for them so that they can definitely grow into great adults that are advocates and leaders in our communities. So, I think the mission between the Gladiators and NACA is one that is unified in the sense that there's a sense of responsibility, respect, perseverance, and culture and community that is very strong between both entities. And so it's definitely a great relationship that's taking place, and we're excited to continue to establish a partnership with both communities. So, kudos to the players who are making that commitment to our students and showing them the way to become who they want to become and become better, and reaching their goals and knowing that nothing is impossible and that they can be champions, not only for their communities but for their families, for their ancestors, and that they can be great representatives through this opportunity. So I just want to again say thank you to Gladiators, Duke City, Gina, CJ, Evolve, and the players for that commitment. So definitely want to say thank you.
Today was absolutely amazing. We had the professional athletes of the Duke City Gladiators. We had a professional boxer. We had a 2005 Miss New Mexico here sharing the message of adversity and overcoming it, and showing these kids that, you know, community champions that are actually from here, right here in Albuquerque, you know, they were sitting in the same chairs as those kids were 10, 15 years ago. Not even that, maybe even 5 years ago. And now, you know, the professional athletes, they've become best of class in their fields. And it's just an amazing story to share and to expose these kids to people that are within their community.
So in life, in taking those steps down those roads that somewhat might be scary, all I can tell you is to believe in yourself, have faith in what you're doing, and most importantly, never be afraid. Never, ever, ever be afraid. If your heart tells you to do it, do it. I don't care what anybody else tells you. Do it.
Just the impact of the community that came out to join us this morning, as well as all of the Duke City Gladiators. We're very, very fortunate with this professional team that we have within our community to be able to do community outreach. I hope that we are able to form various partnerships with the various tribes and pueblos.
Born to be champions. We were born to be champions.